Welcome back to an absolute classic for this channel, which is my goals. Maybe I'm gonna like come up with something. Welcome to September goals. This was a complete accident what I've done in my September goals, but I actually really want to share it because I feel like it's something everybody needs to consider and evaluate more and more every single day. And it's our relationship with social media. But that relationship very much got negative for what I would say a good part of 2025, and my algorithm and my social medias turned against me. I was being completely flooded with things related to negative mental health. Like, I was being flooded with bikini pictures and seeing a lot of beautiful girls in tiny outfits, and I was like, oh, I wish I looked like that. I wish I was pretty. I wish I was that thin. I became really taken in by what people my age were doing and what I was doing in comparison, and how my life didn't feel like it lined up and I felt like I was behind in it. And then it became like, what were my friends doing? Like, where were they going? What were they doing? And I became consumed by basically everyone else's life except mine because it was so accessible. So here is how I broke my habit with social media and rebuilt a stronger, healthier one. Step one, assess where you are, what you want to be, what you want your social media to include, how you want it to function in your world and in your life, and what you want it to put forward and push forward. What is happening on your social media that's making you uncomfortable? Are you just finding you're gravitating towards it more, which is in my case what happened. I was just going on my phone, I was going towards it, and evaluate what that means. As much as it sounds stupid, knowing the source of stuff is honestly the strongest thing you can do, because it's the strongest thing you can combat. Mine was feeling really lost, feeling really confused, and then that went into liking posts that were like talking about feeling not enough and not worthy, and then being surrounded by all of those posts. Then it became comparing myself to other people and like what they were doing and where they were going. Why wasn't I pretty enough? Why wasn't I good enough? Now I have PTSD, but I have complex PTSD, I think it's called, where it's just basically a prolonged event that caused it. I was already understanding that I've been in a very slow spiral for around 6 months. I've kind of just been doing this for about 6 months, but never really stabilizing. And then I eventually stabilized under the water. And it was really hard to be surrounded by all these things and still have your head working against you, and then your social media working against you. And then you're looking at your life and you're like, actually, I'm not happy with where I am, and I'm not happy with what I'm achieving, and I'm not happy with my trajectory. And it became really hard to kind of feel anything that wasn't bad. So I really had to think about what I was consuming, what I was doing, and how I was processing it. Social media is a massive reflection of how you feel, especially if you interact with things that make you feel that way. And that's great when you're happy, and it's great when you're positive and energized and looking for things. But it can, like I said, become a very negative spiral down when you're not in the right headspace and you're interacting with things that reflect that, because you do become encompassed by it in your reality and in your digital footprint. It can be hard to pull yourself out of that organically as well, because you end up getting surrounded by perfect people with perfect hands and perfect legs and perfect bodies with their perfect relationships and their perfect lives with no problems. And although that is the only way they're presented online and probably not the reality, it can be really hard to then tell yourself that, because that's all you're seeing. It's ironic because I love posting on social media, but the more I consume social media, the more I feel constrained by social media. I feel like the more I see, the more I question what I post. And that's obviously not the way it should be done, and it's not the right way to do it. So I feel like there's a bit of a freeing aspect to breaking the habit when it comes to posting, because it just unlocked a bit of creativity in me, unlocked this spark that I love about social media, because I'm creating content that I enjoy consuming. As much as I try and post good things, I post realistic good things. I don't just post, oh my god, it's 6 a.m, I've got no belly, I look good, and I, but at the end of the day, look like I could be 3 months pregnant, especially if I've had a milk a day. 2, remove it. Okay, the long-term goal is not to have to remove it from your device, but it is ingrained in you right now that I'm going to pick up my phone, I'm going to go on Instagram, I'm going to pick up my phone, I'm going to go on TikTok, I'm going to pick up my phone, maybe go on Facebook. For me, I deleted all social medias off my phone, and I done this whilst I was on holiday in Greece actually, and it was so refreshing. I deleted Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I never deleted YouTube, I will say that. I've never had an issue with my YouTube algorithm because the things I watch on YouTube is Jennifer's history, science. So I deleted the social medias that I felt most impacted by off of my phone. But like I said, I enjoy posting, especially on holiday. I love posting to my Instagram stories to have it there. I never post to Facebook on that kind of stuff, and I didn't post to TikTok, although I wish I'd made more TikToks. I think it was the right decision for me in that moment. What I done is I downloaded them all onto my iPad where I could access them through either using my data from my phone or the hotel internet, and anything I had to post I just bulk uploaded in the evening so that I wasn't consumed by my phone all day. And it also freed up that I only ever pulled my phone out to take a photo of something. I never scrolled anything. I actually sat in a cafe when I was on holiday on a solo day, having a drink, reading a book, because I didn't have social media to scroll, and I embraced myself and I listened to people's conversations, and I sat by the harbour and I listened to the water and I listened to the waves and I listened to the birds, and it was really peaceful just to feel like I was reconnecting with the world around me in a very organic and natural way. I will say though, when I came back to the UK, it became very quickly I was like, oh, I feel like, especially when I had sitting around like a doctor's or sitting around waiting for something, like my phone, I feel kind of useless. So the best advice I can give you is actually to make your phone like you were 13. Download some games, folks. Got some Temple Run back on my phone. I got this Food Empire game. It's the most crap I've ever had in my life, but it's so just easy to play. I downloaded Pokemon Go as well. Downloaded like Facebook games, I call them, like Valley Farm or something like that. Honestly, been my top tip if you're finding you're still gravitating towards your phone in quiet moments and when you've got nothing to do. Download some games and really go for them. Step 3 is hold this. This shouldn't be a step, but you need to do this for 2 weeks. I originally drifted towards scrolling, so I literally banned myself from any kind of scrolling for 2 weeks, roughly. And the hardest bit about that was coming back to the UK after holiday. So I went places, I'd done things. I actually went to Hever Castle about 36 hours after landing. That's next week's vlog, by the way. That was great. I just kept myself busy. I kept myself occupied. So I didn't feel like I wanted to scroll. And it also broke that habit, and it just reinferred this love for being outside and going places or reading. I'm doing lots of reading. I'm watching the MCU, literally from the beginning. Just entertain my things with things I loved, and it really worked. I didn't scroll at all, although it was a struggle at first. It became natural. If I wanted to post, the only thing I ever wanted to go on there to do was post. I feel like I became disconnected from some of my friends a little bit, which would be a negative thing in those 2 weeks. Step 4, reintroduce it, because it is not feasible necessarily or good if you can't break the habit and have it there. For me, my goal was to bring social media back to my phone so that I can see what my friends are doing. And like I said, my social media is full of small creators, science places, museums, universities, studies, Egyptologists, kind of things that I interact with outside of what I would class as a classic social media. It was never a question of wanting to bring it back because there's so much social media can give us positively. It was about making sure that I built a better habit and a better routine with it. So introducing social media back onto my phone was a weird thing, but this is where the games come in handy, because now I actively, when I turn my phone on, go, okay, go on a game. Don't go onto social media. Don't do these things. It made me more creative to step away from creative platforms because I wasn't consumed by what other people were doing. I wasn't consumed by what they were creating or how they were creating it. I was creating what I wanted to create. I was posting how I wanted to post it. Yes, there's pitfalls in that as well, obviously, missing trends and missing some things, but actually it made me happier to enjoy what I was posting. Number 5 for building your habit is just solidifying what you're doing. Solidifying every day that I don't wake up, I don't sit on my social media in the morning, I don't doom scroll. I mean, I get on my phone and I check my Pokemon and I check my games and I just make sure that everything's set up for the day that needs to be set up on my games. But I actually don't go onto TikTok or Instagram or anything like that and scroll through it. I've posted more on TikTok than I have in a long time because of it. I've wanted to come back to YouTube because of it. I don't feel this anxiety around it. I've actually posted on my Instagram for the first time that I do YouTube, and promoted my own video on there, which I never done before because of anxiety and like what people would think. I never done that, but because I don't check and because I really very much try to stop myself from who's looked at it, who's watched it, who's interacted with it, it's given me a bit more of, okay, it doesn't matter who's done that. It matters that what I'm putting out is positive for me. I have all my notifications on my apps turned off as well as part of like bringing it back to my phone. So I don't get notifications from anything. It's only when I go onto them, I see if something performed well or if it hasn't or what's going on. And that, top tip, literal best thing I've ever done, because having notifications like, oh, got to check that, oh, got to check that. I forget I have apps on my phone because I get notifications. My phone is drier than Sahara because none of my notifications are on, like, ever. That's how I rebuilt my habit with social media. I wish I'd done it ages ago. I wish I reshaped it. It's a constant thing. Some days I feel good and I don't want to go on my phone. Some days I want to be consumed by other people's lives that just make me feel worse. It's a choice you have to make sometimes to not engross yourself in. The best things I can do, say, are put something else on your phone that is entertaining to you. Games, ebooks, audiobooks. I'm listening to Shag, Marry, Annoyed again from the beginning. I love it. I absolutely love it. So find something additional to do on your phone or reconnect and don't have it. I think I could go like a whole week without having my phone. The thing I'd miss the most is just posting. But I don't think I would care if I missed that you're doing your makeup great one day. As much as I love all my friends, I would happily go back to call me on the landline when you need me. I don't even know my landline number, but call me on the landline when you need me kind of vibes. And that's what we're going for here. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. It's so good to see you all again. But don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Help a girl out. She loves doing this. Let's make it her job. Ba-da-da! Also, vloggies next week. Who's excited? Me.